Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
And you know, Gipp, my nigga, this is something I've been meaning to, I've been wanting to ask you, and I told myself, I said, we interview these niggas, man, because I had a question. You got some pimp bones in your body, don't you, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some pimp bones in you. Have you ever been out on the blade before, man?
Huh?
Have you ever been out on the blade before? Have you ever pimped before?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
With no problem, nigga. Shit, let me just
with no hesitation. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, my uncles, man, I'm originally from Ohio, right? I come from a long line of pimps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle Boogie used to tell me, man, it ain't in you, but it's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you can just tell certain niggas the way they move, man, and everything, man. Let me ask you this, bro.
Yeah, that's a skill that, you know, man, like for us 90s folks, you know, the world changed for us.
Right.
The world changed, man. When that 2000 hit, that 2005, a lot of things, you know, the way the world was moving. Well, you know what I mean? It's just, once you've been in the game for 10 years, you get tired. You get tired. You get tired of the whole rigmarole. You're trying to find other things to do. And man, you know, in them dark places, man, you know, them street skills kick in, man, when the industry ain't there. You know what I mean? And, when it get dark, man, shit, before we drown, we gonna pull out that life jacket. And one thing about it, man, you know, women gonna take care of a goddamn the right one. You talk to her, right? So, hey, man, you know, you either gonna choose drugs or you gonna choose the game. So,
that's,
you know.
Shit. Because, you know, these guys out here pimping out with dope, man, and, you know, snatching the young girls up, which I ain't with, man. But I saw my uncle, man, he's still with his bottom woman. They got kids together. You know, I got cousins and stuff, and they're out there like doing their thing, chilling, dog. But at one time, man, my uncle was like 10 deep.
So, yeah.
And that to put his hands on their bra, he just talked and they moved.
Yeah. Some people got that skill, man. I learned it young. And you know,
you like that shit, huh, Steel? You like that, huh?
Yeah. Man, that's my type. It's my way of dress.
James, what's wrong? What's wrong with him, James?
Man, my nigga James don't. I think it's something don't happen with his phone. He'll be back on here in a minute. But you know, one thing, man, I want to tell y'all cats, man, it's good to have y'all back in the game, man, because I'm not never gonna be one of them old niggas dissing with the young cats who's doing that state shit. You feel what I'm saying? This they time, now they doing what they do. But we got hip-hop graduates now. We got niggas that's 50 years old that was raised on hip-hop. I listen to nothing but rap music, so I got to have me some shit listening to, too. I can't have a nigga in my ear going, you know, all that. You know, I need to hear some edification, man. You know, these kids out here, some of these niggas is rapping like that nigga from South Park. What's the little dude from South Park?
Kenny.
Kenny. Yeah, some of these little niggas sound like Kenny from South Park and just put a little auto-tune on it. And I say, man, this shit easy, motherfucker. No,
your ass crazy as a motherfucker.
I ain't knocking it, dog, because my son sit around this motherfucker and bump that shit all day and to try to tell me, man, I almost had to hit my son one day. He told me, I was listening to Scarface. He said, man, Lil Uzi Vert harder than him. Who was that? I said, Scarface? I said, man, you bite your tongue, little nigga. You know what I mean? And there ain't no diss with Uzi Vert. So y'all niggas out there, don't be clipping my video up talking about Steel.
Nigga, you gonna go viral in a minute because nigga gonna get all in your shit with that one, nigga. I'm telling you.
Which leads me, man, into my next thing, man. How do y'all, just coming from the era that we come from, man, back in the day, you know, you go on a promo tour, you do an album, man, you 90-day setup, right? Now it's just like, man, this shit is just like, okay, we gonna put the album out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, nigga. We're gonna put the album out tomorrow.
And in a lot of ways, it's better, man. But I ain't gonna lie, dog. I was talking to Mac 10 one day, right? And I was asking him, I said, nigga, get off your ass and go get back in the studio. He told me, he said, still, I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't the same no more. I used to like going out, interacting with the fans, going to go do the in-stores and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? How it was before, when you get to interact with the fans, you go on promo tours, you go to different cities. He said, man, I'm just like, it's just not the same no more. Have y'all ever felt like that? Have you ever got to the point where y'all feel like, man, this shit is just way different now?
Not me.
I mean, you know what it is? I mean, what people don't understand is that we never stopped moving. So even after we did, you know, we started doing our solo albums, Cujo put out a book, Cujo put out an album, T-Mo was still doing a lot of stuff. I went and did 5 years with Nelly. Low went and did 5 years with Danger Mouse. You know what I mean? So we still was kind of like in the mix of what was hot and what wasn't hot. And we was still kind of seeing that the industry was changing because of the content, you know what I mean? And what they were putting their money on, you know what I mean? So it was just a different experience. When I got with Nelly and we did a gold album, then 8 million, you know, so we were still moving and all of us were still talking. So I felt like once we came back together, and then once Low did the Voice, we did a TV show on TBS. Then we was the first rap group to have a Vegas show. Low had the Vegas show at Planet Hollywood. So we were still doing things. I just think that the industry has just turned they head to the younger generation because they know they can go, like we just said, they can go pimp the young. When they when they see us and when we still being able to be here and still be able to be relevant without their help, they shun that. That's the reason why they started paying these kids millions of dollars, so they wouldn't listen to us. So if a kid around, see, most of these kids in Atlanta, they rich, man. Like this shit rich around here, man. These kids sitting around here on $6-8 million, and it's a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? And that streaming money, if you got 2-3 little hot little songs on that streaming shit, man, some of these kids can see $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a quarter. That's a streaming check, and I tell people all the time, us coming from the 90s, we don't even know what a streaming check look like. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So it's like when the kids, they like, oh, man, we getting millions off the street. We get millions off goddamn these deals. And we still, think about these kids. You can look at Lil Baby as an example. He been at the house a whole pandemic, right? He still made $19 million in the pandemic and ain't been nowhere.
That's the beautiful.
That's the difference in that shit that us coming from the 90s, we don't even know what that feel like. So just imagine talking to a kid that has sold over 25, almost 30 million records on his first 2 records. And he's sitting on that kind of cash. They ain't got what's the conversation? They've already beat everything we could teach them. But what they don't know is, hey man, it's gonna slow down. And when it slow down, that's when you're gonna need our knowledge. Cause when them folks get off you and you not the hot new chick no more, you're gonna see how that person that you thought was your friend, they ain't your friend. When that building change out on that next quarter and you don't know nobody in that building and don't nobody connect with what you're doing, you'll see, then you'll understand that you're in the industry of business. Cause as long as you got a hit record, it's entertainment. But when you ain't got no hit record, oh, it's the industry.
Real shit. You just said the motherfuckers out there, a bar and a half. You just gave them a bar and a half. See, the thing is, man, with these kids, like you said, what goes up must come down, man. Don't nothing last forever, man. And you can really go out there if you're not careful, man. I look at these cats sometimes, man. They buying these Rolls Royces. As soon as they drive off the lot, $50,000. You know, they lose $50,000, right? And then if they go put some paint on them, they don't fucked it up. Now they looking the thing, so it depreciates. You have to invest in the things that do appreciate, like the real estate market in Atlanta is booming. So I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm proud, man, to see some of these little cats out there winning because they got that independent spirit, which came from, you know, the South, from the J. Princes and different people, the Master P's of the world. So these kids kind of came up, man, like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own shit because now, man, you know, when we used to go to the studio, man, it was, you know, you had 2-inch reels and shit, man. You had all this other shit. You had to go, you know, really put some shit, you know, you had to spend some money to go. You had to spend some money. Now these little niggas, man, they're going on their cell phone to make it. I heard a little nigga the other day that played me some shit. I said, where you do this at? She sound about right. He said, I did it on my cell phone. I said, God. You know what I mean? I said, damn, I wish they'd had some shit like that back in the day, you know, because you had to go out. And then you had to come to the studio back in the day with your shit already prepared because you couldn't go in there fucking off no whole bunch of time. You ain't had
Man, at all.
You had your shit already wrote, and nigga, it's your time for your verse to come up. You know, hurry up because we go, you know, we got running out of time.
I'm gonna tell you, OG. I really I thought the game started changing once that ringtone shit started. When that shit started, that's when I was like, the game changed. When Soulja Boy did what he did, I was like, wow. And understand that boy's still rich.
Exactly.
So when you look at some of these, when the game went out of the street, out of the promotional department, out of the street teams, it went to this telephone digital shit, that's when the game got tricky.
Yeah, for real, man.
Because I'm looking at a lot of people who popular now, and I'm like, damn, I ain't never heard one car go down the street play their music.
Exactly.
When we were
I say the same shit. Like, who ride down the street playing that fast ass shit? Or who ride down the street playing? I mean, can you see yourself like how we used to do back in the days, nigga? You roll down your window, you will hear somebody bumping some Goody Mob out the car. You will hear a nigga like, a lot of this shit, I'll be like, who playing that shit? Because I don't hear that shit nowhere.
It's digital. All digital. They tell me now, they say, Gipp, it ain't even about the radio, it's about the playlist.
Yep.
So it ain't even about the radio no more. And another thing that these kids got that I love is that they don't care about the awards. Them little trinkets that they used to just put up in your face and have you like, oh, I gotta have a grant. Them niggas don't care nothing about that, man. Give me the money, man. Money give me the money, man. You can keep the trophies.
Exactly.
When you look at a kid that comes from our crew, when you look at Future and look at what he did, it's like, bro, they don't care really nothing about that. Look at what Drake did. When I look at how many, man, I've never seen an artist stay hot for 10 years, man. I ain't seen it. Not like him. I've never seen it. Not with the different type of records. Here, you're singing here, you're on the ghetto records, you're breaking new artists. It's just like this digital shit and gave a person who not gonna sleep an advantage over another person that's still on 90s time. So right now for us, when this pandemic hit, it gave us a chance to get in the studio and be like how we was on the first album. Ain't nobody moving outside. We can't go nowhere. We sat right there and we created Survival Kit in 4 months. No ghostwriters, just organized noise and us, no A&Rs, put it out ourselves. And right now, I feel like we broken the ceiling for anybody from the 90s. Because for us right now to have an actual song out, and it's on BET, MTV, and BET Jam, hey bro, they said we couldn't do that. They said it was impossible. So with that being said, I'm so glad that me and my group and what the pandemic did, it woke Voltron back up. That's what it did. It woke us back up.